Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RacialInvestor.com's Daily Brief Recap. Woohoo! Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Woohoo! I don't even know if that was popular back east, but that was I think it was a band called Blink. That was actually one of Liam's favorite songs. I can literally make. Actually, Kevin and I were joking about that. That's another one. If I ever get lost with Liam out in the public, I'll just go do 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 do, and then I'll just be quiet. And out of nowhere, he'll pop up and he'll go, "Woohoo!" And I can find Liam anywhere. Anyway, welcome back to the frivolity. Today, of course, is Friday. We had baby powder report on Thursday, the 1st, which was a holiday here in Canada yesterday. So I had basically a holiday yesterday. Julian did a nice video for the site people, so I thought they felt pretty well served. And of course, back in the saddle here for Friday. It's a really screwy session here. We did have a big monthly jobs report come out of the States, and actually the report came out very bullish. Ironically enough, and it's very hard for new people to trading to understand this, but I don't know whether you can see, is there a letter of the alphabet that you can see out of this as non-farm payrolls? And if we see a particular letter of an alphabet in price action, it usually means, hey, we're going to head further in that direction. Well, same thing with economic reports. So one thing you have to be careful, though, with this non-farm payroll report is it's heavily subject to revisions down the road. I think this will stay. And if anything, I think the jobs reports are going to get more bullish as we move through the rest of the summer. And if anything, this is why. It's this kind of image. Keep in mind that the Fed is a lagging indicator. They follow. They're worried, of course, about inflation, which is nothing more than the workers demanding more money. In their eyes, that's their definition of inflation. These job reports, basically this is saying that, hey, America's getting back to work. And more Americans are getting back to work. They're going to demand higher wages, better standards of living, blah, 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 blah. And we start the cycle. If anything, it's interesting how this bottom came in almost exactly when Mr. Trump tried to, basically cause an insurrection. And following that event, that's probably your trough, and that was the big Jupiter-Saturn cross event. I got a funny feeling that that's your pivot there, folks. Also, too, really interesting how now I do believe that the United States of America and the Western world now has an official enemy. Winnie the Pooh has come out, I think he said yesterday, in all of his wonderfulness, that he's basically ready to go to war with the West over Taiwan. And, we see how significant semiconductors are to sort of this technology future that we live in. So, Taiwan's going to become one hell of a valuable gambling poker chip. I hope we don't go the road of Neville Chamberlain, peace in our times. Of course, if you aren't a fan of history, you're probably not going to do very well with trading, because a lot of what we do about trading is trying to understand that things move in cycles. They don't move in a straight line. They usually move in circles. And so as a result, they always say, if you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. And I see that consistently. So you got to learn from history. Anyway, I think we're seeing basically the same sort of cycle pattern, and the question ultimately here is Winnie the Pooh a Hitler sort of type reference? And is Neville Chamberlain some sort of Western politician that's going to do whatever they have to kiss China's ass to avoid going to war? China still anyway goes in, and my hunch is that they are going to invade Taiwan and take that property back, which really, ironically enough, Taiwan, and now I do find this interesting. there aren't, especially people in China. I gotta say, no offense to you Chinese people, you're actually pretty stupid about your own country's history. But I think you could make the argument that Taiwan is nothing more than unfinished business. Chiang Kai-shek was the leader of the Nationalist Party, and to all intents and purposes, the Communist CCP and the Nationalists, Chiang Kai-shek, they were actually allied through the Second World War trying to fight the Japanese. And then, Winnie the Pooh, I guess it kind of makes sense because, frankly speaking, I think he's a cocksucker. His party and Mao and stuff, they just basically shot fucking Chiang Kai-shek in the knees. They just they turned coattail and started up a civil war, which I don't think he was prepared to be able to fight, and so as a result, they got run off onto the island of Taiwan. And this technically civil war is still going on. And the people of Taiwan, they have no interest whatsoever in being a part of fucking Winnie the Pooh's nightmare and CCP nightmare. And yet Winnie basically acts as if Taiwan and Chiang Kai-shek's people are his subjects. So, if anything, I think it's a really good opportunity for everybody in the West to remind themselves of the history of China, because China and the CCP, they seem to think that, hey, we've been around here forever. We've been controlling China forever. That is not the case at all, folks. So, if anything, I kind of like the fact that, this data right here says, do not bet against the United States of America economy. Finally, after 20 years, we're actually starting to see the economy turn. I remember when I first got involved in this business, we used to regularly have U.S. job report numbers that were plus 500,000, 600,000, 700,000, 800,000 jobs. Very strong economy. And you know what the United States of America did to the Soviet Union. They fucking embarrassed them. Well, I hate to say it, to me it's the same kind of thing. You cannot have a centrally controlled economy. How do you say this? I want to say this succinctly. You cannot have a centrally controlled economy outperform a market-based economy that's got a full head of steam behind it. It's impossible. Because consumers, who are the drivers of this Western economy, they often spend way more money than they have. They'll go into debt to make sure that their next door neighbor doesn't have a better car than they do. And this feeding frenzy of the economy, you can't manufacture that. It can't be centrally planned. And I think that what's happening in China is this centrally planned economy where they go and build like 20 houses or 20 fucking buildings. And I see it all over Vancouver. Trust me, I think I see the fingerprints of the Chinese CCP all over the Lower Mainland here. They are way overbuilding, and yet there's nobody to actually demand this shit. This is going to end badly, I can tell you, folks. There isn't internal industrial demand actually demanding these housing units that are being built here. I don't know who the fuck they're being built for, but it's scary. What I will say, though, is that this is anecdotal evidence that the actual economy of the United States of America is actually kicking in here. And this is why this image right here alone, Larry Williams, I shared his video last week. He said the only indicator I'm following right now is jobs. And I want to see these employment numbers ramp, and that's exactly what he's getting. This, to me, is very, very similar to those people that are betting against the West right now are just like Joe Granville betting against the West in 1980 and 1981. I think that's a really, really bad decision. It's terrible. It's backward looking. It's the idea that things move in a straight line. They don't move in a circle. And I'm a big fan of sort of circle kind of thinking. All right, so rant. If anything, this is almost, the more things change, the more they stay exactly the same. Now we're in sort of this early 1980s scenario. U.S. economy's ramping up. The banksters have gotten away with the fugazi. They've diluted the currency. You're going to have to add a zero onto everything. It's just exactly what's going to happen here. Inflation is coming back. They got what they wanted. I would not bet against the United States economy right now. That's asking for trouble. And oh gee whiz, mysteriously now, we now have a nice convenient villain. And if we need to ramp up industrial production in this war machine, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, all those, the U.S. Space Force, whatever the fuck that is, they got the green light. And of course the banksters, they got away with the fugazi. So you want to finance trillions of dollars of Space Force financing? Let's dance! Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. This is getting crazy. So, I mean, what the hell? I just hope we all live through this. Anyway, so summertime rants. Summertime. As for the stock market itself, like I said, I'm a super uber US dollar bull now. Now, they almost got things absolutely out of control. If anything, it's kind of good that, hey, let's slow down. We don't need to go absolutely apeshit nuts here. But this is a classic Adam and Eve bottom. In fact, maybe even Adam and Steve. I don't know. If we had gone up through the highs here, oh my goodness. Monster foggy levels would have tripped up. And all hell would have broke loose. So, if anything, maybe that's not really appropriate for the middle of the summer. Had pretty good at jobs report. I'm getting the feeling this was kind of like a buy the rumor. We kind of knew that things were coming along pretty good. Mr. Biden's got his big socialist plan that he's going to jam through the U.S. government, infrastructure spending, blah, 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 blah. Also hearing, too, I thought it was interesting through the Daily Brief, congressional testimony that they're trying to sort of connect the dots that they can actually pin this coronavirus on China and the Wuhan lab and all that shit. So it almost seems like this is a perfect narrative to justify war with China and all that kind of garbage. Anyway, econs alone, I like being US dollar bull. Have we gone maybe a little too far, too fast here in the short term? Maybe. I wouldn't even be surprised that as we go through the passage of Mr. Biden's stimulus plan, that maybe we got to do something like that over the course of early July here to set that base. And then, it's going to be really interesting to see which direction we go here through the latter part of the summer. And I'll tell you, man, the drum beats of war. I was shocked at how overtly blatant that Winnie the Pooh was about basically, we might even find by like the fall. I'm worried that there's going to be some sort of big manufactured crisis here this fall to justify stock prices coming off and maybe crypto prices coming off a bit here and cleaning up. It might just be that, hey, the Chinese have ramped things up. They plan to invade Taiwan this fall. Right? That could very easily be the case. I hope not, but especially for the good people of Taiwan. We'll see how it goes. Only time will tell. In this kind of environment, it's interesting to see big cap stocks just loving it. This is just, they've gotten away with the fugazi. They own the market. Oil's even pushing higher. Is oil pushing higher? Maybe on the drum beats of war. Could be. Be interesting to see how that plays out. Also interesting, too. Let's see if the United States plays a political card with oil. We do know that Iran just recently democratically elected. Yeah, right. A very hardline character. And, of course, China gets most of its oil from Iran. So is that going to play into the equation here? Maybe we're going to get a little more saber rattling out of the crew. And I personally think... this is just me. The banks, as long as the banksters didn't abandon the United States, then I don't think it's a good idea picking a fight with the hegemony country of the world. If the banksters had started saying things like, well, we don't believe these deficits are sustainable, we don't believe that the principles of this current government are in line with, democratically elected institutions, blah, 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 whatever. If Mr. Trump had gone all sort of like dictatorship-y kind of stuff. I don't hear that. I hear from Jerome Powell, well, we will do whatever it takes. So the banksters and the United States government are in the same bed together. So as a result, I don't think it's a good idea to pick a fight with the United States of America right now. I just don't. They're the strongest military country in the world, and you are just asking for trouble picking a fight with them. So, I could see that, maybe to a certain degree some of this is the Chinese actually think it's worth taking the Americans to task here and picking a fight with them. I don't know whether that's such a good idea, but nonetheless, I guess only time will tell. Interestingly enough, one of the reasons that might actually knock the stock market down is something we call the Dow theory. And Dow theory just simply says that you can't really have a really strong economy and the economy booming and heading higher, i.e. higher stock prices, without a happy transportation network to actually ship all the goods and services and stuff that are being done in the economy. So we got a bit of a problem here, and Kevin's even talked about this in our blog recently, that you can see the old clothesline high for the Dow 34,777. Here we are, 34,779. Uh-oh. So Dow wants to go to new highs, but look at the transports. Transports are in yellow. Oh my goodness, there's nowhere near new highs. That, friends, that's problematic. There is your... So Kevin, you see now, there is your Dow theory sell signal. It's now coming in. You had to wait for it. You were definitely thinking in the right direction. You were definitely, something doesn't smell right here. And now it looks like it's coming in. And you might find that, especially with the whole stimulus and stuff that's just been passed, you might find that we have a bit of a blow-off top here in the stock market here on that big stimulus package passing event by the rumor, and then we need to take a pause, sell the news. That's, I think, my knee-jerk gut reaction. That's what I think is going to happen here. But, oh well, it's just conjecture. It's just my opinion. It doesn't really matter. As for you guys, stocks going crazy. Crude, very strong. Dow theory sell signals kicking in. Bonds, nothing really too exciting, either bullish or bearish. I still like the idea of bonds working their way lower, and I suppose if stocks go through some sort of insane blow-off top, that should happen. And also, too, if crude oil keeps rocketing higher, that should happen. Gold kind of floundering, and again, same sort of thing. If crude is strong, it's tough to make the bullish case for gold. But I'll tell you, I've been humming and hawing about this crazy silver market, and this silver market is starting to look attractive again. You can see I had one particular silver stock that I was watching on here. I'm not too interested in him. The silver stock I'm interested in is good old First Majestic again. Down in the States, 1 low, 2 lows, 3 lows. Interesting. Look at the little Empire bottom that we just put in here. I might wait till Monday morning. I don't know. See how it goes. But, geez, that's starting to look compelling again. And I really like these kind of trades where I'm going to force myself to come in. I don't know whether this thing's going to hold or not. But I'm going to force myself to come in down at the bottom of the range in the reload zone. If you can force yourself to do that, the odds of success in this trading game go way up. So, yeah, I'm humming and hawing. It's just sitting there. It's not a bad looking trade idea. We'll see how it goes. I do have a couple senior stock proxies on. But a lot of my stock proxies are big stocks, junior stocks. I got some of this coin. I did pick some of it up. I don't know whether we're going to call this a senior stock now. I mean, it's got a monstrous, huge market cap. It's not terrible looking. I don't think it's that great of a buy. Crypto, it's kind of funny. We'll get to that in a bit. But bigger, sort of bluer chip kind of names that I put on. There's a couple like these TV stations that just got destroyed here recently. Man, I think there's money to be made here. I actually picked up a call over here, so I'm underwater on this one. But I do like what I'm seeing down here. And then also this one here, I picked up these calls down here. Feeling pretty good about this. But, maybe he needs to come back. But gee whiz, look at all this open air here. So if the stock market and the big stocks really need to get going, I'm going to play it through these big boys. And like I said, I got things like that coin on the books. So we'll see how it goes. Wondering whether I should step in on these silver names here. I'm humming and hawing right now. Humming and hawing, humming and hawing, humming and hawing. You can see Swiss franc. Look at these commodity currencies. So U.S. dollar finally giving back these insane gains that it just had over the past week or two. But, man, super volatile market state, eh? Up and down like a horse drawers. It is a funny session here. Yesterday was a holiday for my country here in Canada. Monday's a holiday in the States. So this is going to be a screwy weekend. And, of course, in crypto, what do you think that means? Oh, boy, get ready, folks. This could be all over the map here through the weekend. And we're not even really going to see sort of quote-unquote normal market state until probably well into Tuesday. You know, probably that Monday afternoon, evening, start of Asian Tuesday session. That's probably when we're going to get back to normal. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of these kind of markets where, especially with crypto, you kind of see where they're taking crypto out now, right? We could even put a marker on this market and say, and actually, believe it or not, that actually looks kind of bullish here. It's a cute little double bottom that came in. And remember, we had candle body lows here. Remember, our breadth indicator was turning back up. I think on the 24th, 25th was when we last got our last breadth indicator turn. So that's basically explains that rally there. And actually, it was really cool. I was showing this to the site members this morning. Our TRI's internal tool, our crypto top 30 breadth indicator. There is that 24th, 25th. This is that most recent rally in crypto that you're seeing here. That rally right there. Feels as though we need like one of these checks. Check, check, check kind of thing. This just feels too far, too fast. And, I just showed you there on Bitcoin, right, off the 24th, 25th. That was a great turn. There's a nice rally in the marketplace. It's just, you can even see over the past day or two, we haven't really technically broken down, but we're just kind of going sideways. I wouldn't be surprised if this has to start coming back down a little bit. And in a weird sort of way, like I said, we got the holiday weekend coming up. This was Litecoin, for example. There is that 24th, 25th turn. There's the rally, and you can see just over the past few days we've been kind of melting back down here. I don't know how deep they want to take this thing. They might have to bring it all the way back down against these lows. Who knows? But I wouldn't be surprised if by Tuesday we're right back at this level. And more importantly for the corn, we'll even write this on the charts, and let's see for Monday's. I guess Monday's going to be July 4th holiday, so I don't know whether we'll do a video then, but definitely for Tuesday. We'll make a mental note of this. I think this isn't a bad little mark here. That's 33,689. So why don't we just say 33,700? Nice simple number. And let's see, let's come back on Monday and Tuesday when the adults come back, and let's see where the market is. I wouldn't be surprised if through the weekend you're probably going to get something like that just all over the map. Mind you, of course, that's probably a little too fast. Right? Something like that. So get ready. But my hunch is the kids have been told, look, once we get back to Tuesday, you better have the car back parked in the garage. There better be a full tank of gas. There better not be any dings in the chrome or anything, and we'll get back to work. But through the weekend, don't be surprised if there's some pretty crazy ass price action in here. So speaking of crazy asses, right? It's probably going to come out of things like the poop coins. You can see this thing does have an M working. That's not good. We broke through this trend line, so really any kind of M structure on the other side of this trend line is a sell signal. We are down into green boxes, so that's good. I mean, it's not like we're in, oh my God, we could fall off a cliff mode. We're in sort of, okay, where the hell's the bottom mode. And I wouldn't be surprised if, it's something along like these kind of lines. So we have to dip down into here, and then away we go. That wouldn't surprise me. So just be forewarned, right? There are already M's working. And we are heading lower. There's a lot of these altcoins that look kind of wishy-washy right now. So there is no hurry to go and load up on crypto. If, so over the next, 12, 24 hours, we can, start Wing out. Okay, well, fucking A. But it's just not here yet, right? We're going to have to see stuff like this. Give me something that looks like that. And then we can start thinking bull again. But it's just not there right now. So if anything, holiday environment, maybe go out and have some fun. Go ride a bike. Play in the park with your friends. I don't see a huge fortune to be made here in crypto through the weekend. You can see it's kind of wishy-washy. Poop coins are doing their thing. Nothing really to get excited about. Some up, some down. And of course, if we do start to see some serious rally action, Brian, he'll be jumping up and down, pulling his hair up. But I don't see anything to get too excited about. Interesting. I would keep an eye on names like SIS here. SIS actually, and I remember when this happened, SIS topped out, like one of the first altcoins. This was back in the beginning of May. Remember I said usually May, my birthday. Remember I would warn you guys, look out, my birthday, crypto shits on my birthday. So you can see this guy even started to top out ahead of that event. But do you see the difference in market state here? Right? This is dog money. This is that jerk, coming out, not really even talking about fundamental valuations. Just talking about how wonderful he is. And how egotistical he is. And how wonderful he is. And how smart he is. And how great he is. And oh my God, isn't Mr. Tesla wonderful? Actually, Mr. Tesla is wonderful. Mr. Musk, as far as I'm concerned, he deserves a wedgie. Somebody should go and fucking pants him in public. That would be funny. I'd like to see that. Really sort of knock him down. You're just another human on this planet, you stupid goof. So, if anything, you have to, as a market participant, you have to recognize that this is not the kind of shit you want to be going in and speculating in on. This is actually called a railroad tracks. Very, very bearish. But this doesn't look like that anymore, does it? This looks actually very different. That actually looks like it's trying to bottom. It's interesting, I've told you guys before, right? The longer the channel, the bigger the run. We're developing a nice little trading range there. You can make it really easy on yourself. You can buy on a stop on a break above that high and just risk against these lows. It's a fairly well-defined risk window. And the irony of it all, remember on Wednesdays, I think I do this with the public. What would be a natural price objective? Actually, 50% rule. I mean, look at those risk-reward numbers. If I just buy on a stop here, just have the balls, and all I'm going to say is, look, somebody came in and stopped this market on a couple different occasions down at the bottom here. I don't know who it is. I don't even know if they're going to work. But if I just let them do their thing, institutional fingerprint, that kind of idea, and I'm just going to live with these results. And I'm going to force myself just to stick around, and I'll take profits if we do bounce 50% of this range. That's a 7-to-1 risk-reward ratio. 7-to-1. This trade only has to work maybe like 10-15% of the time. And you make good money being a trader. And they're starting to set up. Do we have signs of maybe momentum divergences? Oh, hello. Look how we're making lower lows in price, and yet MACD is not making lower lows. Look how RSI is actually trying to W out here. Look at OBV is actually trying to move up here. So you have to recognize the market state. We're not really in a bull market here, but we're definitely not in that type of market that, oh fuck, we're going to get destroyed. If anything, we're in the type of market that the public isn't interested in this shit at all right now. So guess who is getting interested? It's getting to the point where I see this so often in this space that now I'm starting to see what my CME boys used to tell me years ago, that, Brian, you're just wasting time. Just get in there and trade the shit yourself. Make piles of money, go buy your fucking Hawaiian villas and go change the world, not for profit or whatever. But I guess in a weird sort of way, I kind of felt like if I barked loud enough, I could actually make a positive difference in this world. The people on this site, they tell me that, yeah, Brian, just keep barking. Just keep doing it. But I got to tell you, man, it takes a lot of energy to show up here day after day, year in, year out. I know that the public, I don't care how loud I'm going to bark. I know that the public is not interested here. I know that now. It doesn't matter how loud I bark. I know that there's banging out double trades coming down the pike here. This is a no-brainer. This is like probably banging out triples, quadruples, quintuples. Public's not interested. So, I don't know. We'll have fun. I'll probably keep doing this until I just I run out of breath. But seriously, people, try and learn from that image. That image is an incredibly powerful image. And like I said, nobody's interested in this shit right now. Anyway, holiday rant. It's kind of a wishy-washy market state, broader market. I mean, I suppose there are parts of the big market that are rocking and rolling. A lot of my names, especially in the junior market, it's kind of just hurry up and do nothing. Same thing in kind of the spec market, hurry up and do nothing. But at the same time, too, try and understand what's going on underneath the surface of this market. And this actually is a lot like that image that I showed you about the breadth, and trying to understand that the actual internals of the market are actually pretty good. This is the bottom end of the range here. So pullbacks against the bottom end of the range with W's working, well, those are buy opportunities, not selling opportunities. All right, that was kind of a funny directional rant today. I don't know whether you guys got any value out of that. What do you think, Kevin? Was that of any value? Do you think anybody could pick anything out of there that they could learn from?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah? You think so?
Yeah, totally.
Awesome. Hey, cool. Hey, I got Kevin's endorsement. All right, well, if he's happy, then fuck, I'm done. All right, everybody. Have yourselves a great day. We'll see you for the broiler chickens. Maybe go pick up some of this, sis. I'm not telling you what to buy or sell. I couldn't give a fuck what you buy or sell. But I'll tell you, don't be shocked if you hear Brian's added a little bit more to his bag on the old sis coin. All right, everybody. All the best. PMA for the win. Thank you, Kevin, for the little psychological boost there. Appreciate it. All the best, and bye for